What's good, everyone, and welcome back to Call It in the Ring, not just another wrestling podcast, brought to you by Two Kingz TV. I'm one of your hosts, Ron the Don, and as always, my co-host, Lord Thapheus, and he
Yes.
is the casual fan. Dad,
Lord Thapheus, Ronda Don, once again, Monday Night Raw. Let's get it.
I'm saying the dynamic duo out here. We're gonna get into Raw. We're a little late to the game, but better late than never. It's all good. And we're gonna jump right into what everybody's been talking about. We're just gonna jump right into the main event. The Vision and Seth Rollins, or really the Vision turning on Seth Rollins. To be honest, I did not think that it was gonna happen so soon. I thought we were gonna have a little bit more time. We was gonna have a little bit more, dissension and things like that. Kind of similar to how they did with Batista when he turned on Evolution. Well, he turned on Triple H. There was a little bit more seeds that were being planted at that time. Not saying that there wasn't seeds now, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more. But it looks like they had to pull the ripcord and plans changed. There's been some rumors and some speculations that Seth is potentially hurt, potentially is dealing with a legit injury this time. Not that other injury that happened before, but this seems a little bit more legit. So we're just gonna have to see what happens. So before I even say my thoughts, what's your thoughts on this with the Vision turning?
Uh, well, let's go back to the intro. Since they did the intro, they closed the show and they opened the show.
Yep.
I thought it was a pretty solid opening segment. You can definitely tell the difference when there's an actual star in the ring, like Seth. So I think he's doing a good job of carrying the group. Him and Paul Heyman, of course. So I thought it was a pretty solid opening segment. And then, of course, we're gonna go straight into the main event or the
Mhm.
closing of the night, rather. Yeah, I agree. I think it's way too soon. I mean, they did a horrible job in rolling out this group, I feel, because
Yeah.
they took a really long time to even give them a name. I mean, they've been a group since WrestleMania, and I think it was like
Yep.
3 months. I think WrestleMania was in April. I think we didn't hear the name Division until like June, if that,
Yeah.
maybe be even later than that. But it was like they didn't have a name, they didn't have a purpose, they didn't have a purpose or a mission statement. They were just a faction to be a faction. And then
Yeah.
now, when they're finally starting to get some traction and some wheels and some definition behind them, they're choosing to break them up. I think it's way too soon. I
Yeah.
think Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed are not there yet to lead a faction. I think they need for a little bit longer. Of course, they have Paul Heyman, so they're in good hands. But as we talked about last show, the Paul Heyman thing doesn't always work. It's not a cheat code to
Yeah.
automatically have Paul Heyman as your valet and you're gonna make it. That's not how it works. So I would have liked to see them run for a year or two or a year and a half, a significant amount of time, maybe add some new members, run things, and then once everybody's a star, then you break up. But I think it's way too soon. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think a year would have been good, which,
Minimum.
yeah, minimum a year.
Yeah.
But I think that's been the rumors, as reported on like Fightful and those other outlets has been reported that, the original plan was a year as far as
Hmm.
like, 2026 was the initial plan. But that's the thing. It's like what I don't like with WWE, it's like it feels like a lot of things are put in holding patterns. It's like we're waiting until WrestleMania or we're waiting until WrestleMania season to do this. Like, we've talked about how, everything is so formulaic or there's, things don't just happen out of nowhere, which I felt like with this segment, this was an out of nowhere segment. Like this was not expected. I don't think anybody could have anticipated that this was going to happen tonight. So if we're
Hmm.
talking about how things used to be, how you didn't know what was going to happen, this is one of those moments where it was
Yeah.
like, the logo came up. You think it's a wrap. You
Yeah.
thinking like, all right, I'm about to turn my Netflix off, and then all of a sudden you
Yeah.
see Braun Breaker in the corner,
The
and he
closing
just
credits.
spears Seth.
Yeah. Yeah. And I agree. That was
But that's
actually
a
one of the points I was going to make as well.
yeah,
It's definitely unexpected. Nobody saw this coming, which is refreshing. for once.
Yes.
Obviously, it happened in a different country in a whole different time zone. So I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw it before I actually watched Monday Night Raw. So
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised because I saw it all over Instagram because their nighttime is like in the middle of the day for us. So we saw
Yep.
Raw. We saw clips from it really early. Yeah, I mean, if I have to give them some credit for this, it's definitely unexpected. For something like this to happen on
Yeah.
a Monday Night Raw, this is kind of a throwback. This is kind of the stuff that would happen in the Attitude Era. Just a random Monday Night Raw,
Yeah.
something big would happen like this. Kudos to them for at least trying to surprise us a little bit.
And it just shows that WWE can do stuff like this.
Hmm.
But again, they just choose not to. Because yes, this was a great moment. This was great. Now what's the follow-up? What's gonna happen now? Is now the speculation or what everyone's speculating is, okay, does this mean that they kick Seth out the group? Similar to like how with Edge and Judgment Day. Because remember, Edge started the Judgment Day and they kicked Edge out of the Judgment Day and the Judgment Day continued on without Edge. Just like how when Judgment Day kicked out Rhea and kicked out Damian Priest, Judgment Day continued on. Is this a situation where the vision is still there, but it's the new vision under Braun Breaker, and Seth is just out of the vision? You know what I'm saying? It's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds with Braun Breaker at the head of it. Does that mean that he's gonna bring in some more members, maybe
Yeah.
bring in some more guys, or bring in additional guys from NXT?
Hmm.
Because if we really break it down, and this is what we've talked about before, how has these guys benefited from being with Seth? And I think that was really the tipping point for them, in kayfabe, was like they didn't really need Seth. Like, what do they need Seth? How have they really benefited from being in the vision? And these are the things that we've been talking about, because Braun Breaker, he was already a star coming in. He was a
Yeah.
two-time intercontinental champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's already been there. And Braun Breaker, he he done took Seth out already. Now he done took Roman Reigns out. He has shown that he can mix it
You
up
mean
with
Bronson?
top guys. Yeah, Bronson Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's shown that he can mix it up with top guys, with main eventers. What
I
has
would
Seth?
say the
How
only
has
person
Seth?
that really benefited was Bronson Reed because Braun Breaker was
Oh,
already
absolutely.
kind of on his way, but Bronson Reed, we know him, we know his name now. He's the tribal thief.
Yes.
He made a name being in this group a little bit. I still don't think that those two guys are there, but I will say that he did make a name for himself, the tribal thief, and beating having two matches with Roman Reigns, whether he lost the first one or not. That's two matches with the biggest guy
With
in the
Roman,
company.
top
You know what
guy.
I'm saying? And he beat him in the last match.
WWE
So
champion for 4 years, the longest
right,
reigning undisputed champion, Roman Reigns. Come on,
yeah,
man, you could wear that on your hat forever. I beat him.
absolutely,
Like, I've had two matches with him, and I beat him. But yeah,
right,
so because remember with Bronson Reed, his career got derailed a bit when he got hurt.
yeah,
War Games match when he jumped from the top of the cage and broke his ankles.
stupid,
So his career was already derailed from there. And now
yeah,
he came back from injury, and now they put him, with the vision, and
hmm,
now here we are. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So
yeah, I
yeah, I would
think,
say it's
and
good
then
and
going back
bad.
to this,
I
yeah,
think that it's too soon. On one account, it is too soon, but on another account, I'm happy to be surprised. And I think it would, I don't know. I think there's a possibility for it to benefit those two more without Seth because it'll
yes,
force, I don't think they did a good job of forcing them to the front with Seth. You know what I mean? Like I always
yeah,
said, they need to talk more. I always said that. Now they're going to be forced to talk more. And I'm interested to see
to have
them
to.
talk more and how that plays out.
Yeah. It looks like because of how everything play out, that Paul Heyman is not going to be the voice on how he normally would. It looks like he's just going to be in the background, and these two guys are going to be in the forefront. More so, Braun Breaker will possibly be in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Like, just breaking down the segment a little bit more. I like how when he did spear Seth, he looked at Bronson Reed. It was like, choose the right side. What side you
Mhm.
trying to be on? And Bronson quickly, he was like, I want to be on your side. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
then you saw with Paul Heyman, he was just like, "You gonna be on my side, or you gonna be on our side, or you gonna be with Seth?"
Mhm.
He was like, "Yo, I'm with y'all." So those little things was like I kind of like when they do like the off mic stuff
Mhm.
because it feels to me it feels more real to me.
More real,
Like
yeah.
they're not like directly in the mic. Yeah, they cutting it off mic. Like they having a
You're
conversation
looking
where
at it forces you to look
you
at
could
body
hear them.
language and energy, and it's like,
Yes.
okay, they're having a real
Yep.
conversation right now. You can't hear what they're
Yeah.
saying, but you see the body language and you see him thinking about it. And he was like, he just pushed him out the way and he pulled Seth to the corner and he did his thing. So yeah, that was
Yeah.
actually well played. And just a little plot twist that I was thinking about. This could be all in work by Seth. Just some
I've
kind
heard,
of a work.
man, heard that I've heard rumors about that, bro. I think that
Yeah.
would be a mistake. I think that would be a big mistake if if they did a work. You
Yeah.
can't do it twice. You can't do it
Yeah.
twice.
It could be a
I
work
don't I
because I think there's still more. I think a lot of people agree with us in that there's still more juice to squeeze out of the vision. I mean, they're only not even a year old, so why break them up now? So I am leaning more towards the this is just a work, and then maybe at the next pay per view they'll reveal it as, oh, this was part of the plan to just throw people off. I don't know, but we'll
I
see. We'll see.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
Think because they did it now. I think because they did it now, it's not a work. I think this one is not a work because it's like now Seth is gonna be the the man who cried wolf at this point. Man, they can't do it twice. I feel like for it to happen so prematurely that it cannot be a work at this point because
Mhm.
also what the speculation has been and what people been talking about like how Seth was wearing this like oversized coat to kind of hide the sling that he had on. He really wasn't moving his arm too much. Little things like that that people have been like, really looking into and saying that, this could be a possible injury. Now, we don't know what type of injury it is, how long he's gonna be out. Is he gonna have to be relinquish the title? Anything like that. But because we're going into War Games. So, what I thought War Games was gonna be like Team Seth versus Team CM Punk. But now with this whole
Oh God,
Vision
no.
implosion, we don't know what War Games are gonna look like now. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I don't want to
we just gonna
see
have to sit
anything
back
with
and watch.
Team Seth, Team CM Punk. I don't want to see any of that.
It's gonna happen, man.
I don't want to
It's
see
gonna
any
happen.
of that. They need to separate.
What I
Long overdue.
Yeah, well, they're not gonna be able to separate for that long because he's the number one contender now, CM Punk.
Have the match and just get it over with and move on. Don't drag this out. You drug it out long enough. Have the match, move on. They should be fighting. They should be facing different people at this point.
We
It's
well we know that.
never ending storyline.
So to be honest with you, bro, I did not like that he won the number one contender. He did that he won that match. I didn't like that he won that match because I'm like, we're just doing the same thing over. He won the last time. Why are you making him win again? That didn't make any sense to me. I didn't like it. I was like, why are you having this man win again? Like, we've already been there, done that. Like, why couldn't you give it back to Jay or give it to LA Knight? Why are we going back to CM Punk? We've already squeezed all the juice out of him and Seth. They need to separate at this point. Honestly, CM Punk needs to go on SmackDown. He don't even need to be on Raw no more because
Mhm.
he's already done everything. What else more does CM Punk need to do on Raw at this point? Unless he's gonna go for the Intercontinental title, I don't see that really happening. Put that man on SmackDown and have him go against Cody at this point. But
Yeah.
he don't need to be messing with Seth no more.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't like it. The match was okay with them, but they have good chemistry already with Jay and LA Knight, which I know you don't really like LA Knight, but I know you don't fools with him too much. But it was a decent match. But having CM Punk win again, I'm just and this goes back to what we've been talking about. I'm not really blown away by CM Punk right now. I don't like babyface CM Punk. I prefer CM Punk as a heel.
CM Punk was a
I
good
don't like
babyface
happy
back in
go
the
lucky
day,
CM
though.
Punk.
No, so CM Punk was a good babyface. He's just a happy-go-lucky babyface in this era. But he was always a good babyface, and he was always a good heel. He played both very well. It's just that this
I
iteration
prefer them.
of him, no, I'm telling you, back in the day,
Yeah.
he was a face with edge. This iteration
No,
of
I
him
know. No,
is
I know.
terrible. This
Yeah.
happy-go-lucky, like I said last time, he needs new music, he needs a new look, it's just stale at this point. And I
You
don't
know what?
mind him being a face, but go back to being that edgy face that you used to be. Go back to being that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when he was straight edge society, I like that. I
Yeah,
like when he was straight edge.
that was heel punk. That was straight up heel
Yes.
punk.
That, but I liked
Yeah,
Hill Punk.
yeah.
You know what I'm comparing him to now? Which I know it's gonna sound wild. I'm comparing him to like when The Rock comes and he's a face. That's what I'm
Mhm.
comparing to CM Punk right now, where he just plays to the crowd. It's great to be in insert city or town
Yeah,
here.
it's terrible. Yeah, I hate that.
It's not good.
Yeah, I hate that.
It feels soulless. Like it's just I'm just coming out
And
there hitting you with
that's
the
not who
hits,
CM Punk
and that's
is
not it.
either, because that's not how he was. He was always against the system.
No,
He was never a company guy. And not to say
no.
that people can't grow up and evolve, but he still needs to have that core of his brand and who he is, man, you know? So, yeah, but let's get into the rest of the show.
Yeah. Well, I'll just touch the last thing. CM Punk does better when he has something to sink his teeth into.
Mhm.
Like when he had the feud with Drew McIntyre, he had something to really like hone in. When he's just kind of out there, doesn't have that, he gets stale to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, but let's move on.
Yeah, we
Let's move
20
on.
20 minutes in. Let's move on. We got other things to talk about.
All right, let's go. We kind of went to the main event, talked about that, talked about the division turn. All right, let's jump into the Intercontinental Championship match between Dominik and Penta. So I'm all in for Dom. They need to turn this man face. The dude is taking over the Eddie Guerrero uh moniker, man. He took it. It's his. It's his now because no matter what he does, he gets cheered. Even if he cheats, he still gets cheered. And I thought this was a very competitive and good match for Dominik to show that he can hang with somebody like Penta. And I like what he did when he went and got the ring hammer and did what he needed to do to get the win. So this
Mhm.
really shows to me that he doesn't need the Judgment Day anymore.
No. No.
He doesn't need them. He's outgrown the Judgment Day. He's able to take care of business on his own.
Yeah, I agree. I
What you
think he
thought?
did a great job holding it down on his own as a heel, of course, cheating to win. He's a showman. He's probably the best. I can't think of anybody else. I know you like the LA Knights and all that, but I think Dom is like the best guy on the roster right now, in my opinion. I think Dom is the number one guy right now on the roster. I disagree. I don't think they should turn him face. I think they should continue to let him do what he's doing, continue to bubble. Because
Yeah.
once you become a face, things change. You know, so let him do what he's doing. He's entertaining the fans.
Yeah.
He's having good matches. Let him ride out this wave of being this version of Dom. I think he's doing a great job. And then maybe later on, maybe on the other side of WrestleMania, maybe next summer, like next year, this time, next year summer, then you can start to say, all right, we need to see if we can turn this guy face and see what happens. But I think right now, let him ride this wave. He's doing a great job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the
he's
highlight
in
of the
that
show.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's in that tweener type of role. Even that backstage segment with Rusev and Penta when Rusev was calling out Penta basically saying that he's going to have a match with whoever wins with Penta's match and you see Dominik in the background, he's about to walk up and he sees Rusev and he's like, "Oh, I'm not going to go this way." He turns around. I
Yeah.
thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I thought that was entertaining, man.
Yeah. 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 Good call out. I almost forgot about
Yeah,
that.
man. Oh yeah, I mean, he's a young guy. He's the future, man. Like he's come such a long way. Like I continue to sing Dominic's praises, man. He's come a long way. You know what I mean? And he's been capitalizing on all the moments
Mhm.
that he's been getting. So hats off to Dominic, man.
Yep. Dirty Dom.
Dirty, dirty dumb, dirty dumb. All right, let's continue on here. All right, so let's get into the ladies, Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley, to jump into their match. So, well, let's talk about the backstage segment real quick. So, of course, there's still animosity between, Asuka and Kairi Sane. As we already know, it's pretty much an abusive relationship at this
I
point.
was about to say, you got to talk about Oscar handing out
Yeah.
slaps.
Yo, she gave her a swift box. She gave us yo.
Yeah.
She slapped her. So now it's like we're feeling bad for Kyrie. We're feeling sympathetic for Kyrie. But on the other hand, it's like, well, you can just leave. Like, why are you still in this abusive relationship with her? But of course, that's gonna play out. So yeah, that was a tough box. But we get into the match between Kairi Sane and Rhea. I thought it was one of Kairi's better matches for me. I thought they were very physical in the match. Of course, Asuka, she tries to interfere, and then Io Sky was out there. She was running interference, um, between them. But I thought it was a really good match. What's your thoughts on it?
Thought it was terrible. I still don't like the way they book Rhea Ripley. She's twice the size of this girl. She's a monster. Why is she having a 50-50 back and forth with somebody she's 2 times bigger than? It just doesn't make sense. If I feel like one of the vets needs to tap Triple H and creative on the shoulder and say, "Hey, let me come in and let me work with Rhea because she can be booked so much better than this." The Undertaker, somebody can come in and say, "Let's work with her. Let's change her character. Let's make her more serious because it just doesn't make sense. She's too big to be having." It looked like Kyrie is like 4 foot something. I mean, she's towering over this girl, but they're having a back and forth. It just makes Rhea look weak to me. It makes her look really, really weak. Like, how is she gonna fare in a match with somebody her size? When she gets in there with Jade Cargill and she's supposed to, like, if she's having 50-50 with this little girl, how is she gonna fare against a Jade Cargill? She's gonna get
Hey man,
dominated. But of course, they're not gonna
that's a
do that.
grown woman, man. Kyrie's a grown woman, man. This is a
I mean, you know
grown
what I
woman,
mean.
man.
That
Don't do that.
what she looks like. What she looks like standing next to this giant of a woman. She looks like a little girl, but they're having a 50-50
So
match.
would
That's
you
the thing that I don't like.
would you prefer like a squash match, like Rhea just dominate her the whole time?
Yeah, a squash match, or if Kyrie gets the better, it's because she outsmarted her, or it has to be for a reason. It can't just be we're wrestling. We're having a 50-50 wrestling match. I think they needed to do a better
I
job
mean,
of telling the story of, hey, I'm bigger than you. Like how The Undertaker, go back and watch The Undertaker matches back in the day. He was bigger than everybody. So they had to work from behind to beat him. They had to work from behind because he was towering over everybody. It made him look strong,
yes,
and it made the other person look strong too because they had to use this because they couldn't physically go up against him, so they had to try to outsmart him to beat him. And that's how they need to
yes,
book Rhea.
but also Undertaker has gotten out wrestled. He has gotten
No,
out
not
wrestled.
straight up.
Yes, he has.
No, not straight
What?
up. No, he got outsmarted. He got outsmarted, but he never got
You telling me?
outpowered.
You telling me? No, I said out wrestled. I didn't say out powered.
Yeah,
I
that's
said out wrestled.
outsmarted. So we're saying the same thing then. Outsmarted.
No, I'm talking about like somebody was just a better wrestler, like a Kurt Angle. You telling me Kurt Angle did not out wrestle
No
the
way.
Undertaker? Yes,
No
he did.
way. He
Yes,
came
he
from behind.
has. Yes.
Kurt Angle came from
Oh,
behind every time. I've watched many Kurt Angle and The Undertaker. Kurt Angle came from behind. Brother, I'm telling
look,
you.
we're gonna go back and watch. We're gonna watch those
Yeah, we got
matches,
to. I know you didn't really
and
keep
we're
up
gonna
with
do a
the
watch
Attitude
along.
Era, but I'm telling you, back then The Undertaker was booked in such a way that you had to come from behind with him in order to get him. And then if you finally got the upper hand, it's later on in the match while he's tired. But you can't just have a 50-50 with him. He wasn't booked that way. Vince booked him to be strong and unstoppable like a zombie. So you had to outsmart him. You had to go around him. You had to trip him up. You had to do other things you couldn't just go straight up with The Undertaker. That would ruin his whole character. And that's what's ruining Rhea Ripley right now because she doesn't look strong. She just looks like a regular person.
I disagree.
I know.
I
She needs
disagree
she needs to
because this is
look
the
like a
same thing.
beast. She needs to look like a beast, and she does not look like a beast. She looks like a friendly giant.
You know what? I think the issue is that I think you have good points. I think the issue is she hasn't gone against people like Bianca, Jade in a while. Even a Charlotte. she hasn't gone against those folks in a very long time. It's very interesting what they're doing, Rhea, with her not going for the title right now.
And those women are closer to her size. So it would look better if she had more of a 50-50 with them than somebody she's towering over.
Yeah. But I feel like you also got to show that these ladies can then also hang with somebody like Rhea. And I think in this match, they were showing that. But I see
it doesn't make her look good,
your
though.
point
It
of
makes
view.
her look weak.
Okay.
They have to wrestle
Okay,
from
I can see
behind, and
that.
they have to struggle. They have to, and if they get the upper hand, they have to tell the story of I had to do something to get the upper hand. And when it's not physicality, I have to use more than just bronze. I have to use my brains to get around this girl because I can't go toe to toe with her like that. She's towering over me. So let me do something else to get around her. That's all I'm saying. Tell the story to make Rhea look like a monster. In order for me to slay this monster, I had to outsmart her.
Yeah.
That's the story they need to tell with her, but they're not doing that. They're putting her as an equal competitor.
And it probably could do that better if well, let me say this. Do you think that they could do that better if she was a heel or currently as her being a face?
I don't think it matters. The Undertaker was heel, he was face, he was still the Undertaker. He was still a beast. It doesn't matter. Whether they're cheering for you right now or they're booing you right now, it really doesn't matter.
I think it kind of does matter because you could say like, for example, like a Nia Jax, how with her coming back and when she was the champion, was a dominant champion and you had to show how to beat her, you had to outsmart her because she was a heel. So she was going to dominate you every time. I feel like with WWE, they have an issue as far as like how to book their baby faces. And that's the point I was just trying to make is that they be having an issue with their baby faces. They want to make
But the thing
everything,
is,
50-50, and they don't want to show how dominant somebody is because that's kind of I feel like they're leaning more into them being that person being a heel versus a face.
But the thing is, if you have a size advantage, it doesn't matter if you're heel or face. The match should still go the same way. If I'm bigger than you, you should always be wrestling from behind, whether you're heel or face. It doesn't matter. I'm physically bigger than you. So you have to use more than strength to conquer me. And that's how you had to beat The Undertaker. That's how Shawn Michaels beat The Undertaker. Every single match with Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, Shawn is working from behind because he has to outsmart. He has to be faster. He's not stronger. That's the story. I'm not stronger than you, but I'm faster than you. You see what I'm saying?
I'm faster than you.
So,
I gotta take your knees out. You know what I mean? I
so
gotta do something.
Kairi, I'm not stronger than you. You're a monster, but I'm faster than you. So I'm gonna get around you. I'm gonna do something to take you down other than trying to go 50-50 with you.
I got you. Okay. I feel you.
And speaking of Rhea Ripley, I just feel like this was a great opportunity. I know a few weeks ago, I kind of criticized her opening segment on Raw because I was like, she's not a star, right? She shouldn't be opening Raw. Maybe a later on segment or whatever. But I think if you were going to try to pull that, this would have been the time to pull that in front of her home crowd. Her walking out there, opening the show, getting on the mic in front of her home crowd. That's how you build her up because you know that her home crowd is going to eat her up. That's like a cheat code. I'm home. These people,
because she got a great reaction.
I grew up here. You know what I'm saying? But I think if anything, she should have been opening the show this past Monday Night Raw, cutting a promo, and let Seth and the Vision go out at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. You know what I mean? At another segment. I think that, or maybe even continue to let Seth and the Vision open the show and maybe have Rhea come out at 9 o'clock. I don't know, but this would have been the night to have her on the mic as opposed to, what was it, like 2 or 3 Monday nights ago? So.
Yeah. But that also means they'd have to have more for her than what they currently have. That's the other problem. They don't really have much for her outside of this whole,
Kabuki
EO
Warrior.
and Kabuki Warriors, that type of thing.
Yeah. They really know how to beat a story to death.
Yo,
it's like,
beat it to death, brethren. And then talking about beating a story to death, let's jump into the next women's match, and that's Lyra and Bailey versus Raquel and Roxanne.
Yeah.
Another story that they've been beaten to death, Bridget. I'm like, you had everybody basically fight each other on a one-on-one match. Everybody got 50-50 booking because Raquel lost, Roxanne lost, but Roxanne also won. And the same thing with Bailey and Lyra. They just been flipping back and forth this whole time. And like we've already talked about before, they need to really figure out what they're going to do with Bailey. This whole personality thing, and Lyra has to get her back into, get her focused on what's going on. It's killing me. It's wearing me out. And I love Bailey, but they got to do a better job with this. This is no. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like it.
Yeah.
It was a decent match because again, all the players are great wrestlers. But
I will
they
say
gotta figure this
it
out.
was refreshing to see Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez wrestling as a
Yeah.
tag team as opposed to taking
Yes.
turns as singles competitors, because that's what you see every week.
Yes.
Roxanne will
Yep.
wrestle this week. Raquel will wrestle the next week, and it just interchanges every single week. So to see them actually work together was refreshing.
great.
But I
Yep.
don't know. Maybe I don't know, but it just seems like they got dominated most of the match. Was it just me? It didn't seem like much of a back and forth. It seemed like Bailey and Lyra dominated that match. It kind of made Judgment Day girls look kind of weak. They didn't really get a
So
lot
what happened
off.
was, yeah, they were more dominant in the start of the match as far as Roxanne and Raquel. So they dominated very early. But
Yeah.
once Bailey was kind of second guessing herself, and then Lyra smacked Bailey to get her changed to the role model character, it looked like she just hulked up and just went wild
Yeah.
on everybody
Yeah.
and got the win very quickly. Which I was like, what
Yeah.
the heck is happening? It's
Yeah.
crazy. But real quick, with Roxanne with Bailey and Lyra now getting this win on a tag team, and with Rhea and Io also getting a win on the Kabuki Warriors, do you think that now they have an opportunity, or should be given an opportunity to go for the tag team titles?
Who has the tag team belts?
Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
So I don't really care. I mean, they're on a whole different show?
They're on SmackDown, but
Yeah,
they
I
should
don't
be
care.
floating between all shows,
And they never
which
do,
doesn't make sense on
which
why
makes me not care.
it's
I never see them on Raw, so I don't care. I only see the Kabuki Warriors in the storyline for the past 2 months. I see Io Sky, I see Asuka, I see these same women over and over again. So I don't even think belts when I see them. I don't even think belts. I just think they just have matches. That's all they do is have matches. So they have to make me care. I don't care.
And that's what makes it so frustrating. I'm like, you just have these ladies on SmackDown when you're telegraphing that Raw is the A show. Why aren't the tag team titles on Raw? Why aren't the ladies on Raw showing that they're a tag team? Let's face some tag team.
Yeah, that's really bad booking. You're making a good point, because if they
Terrible
are the
booking.
champions, they should be on both shows. They should have their presence on both shows, because it makes
1000%.
me not care about the belts on Monday Night Raw, because I'm not used to seeing belts on Monday Night Raw. The only belts I'm used to seeing are the Judgment Day tag team, the male tag team champions.
Yep.
Who else has a belt? And Seth Rollins. Dominik, yeah. That's it.
Yep.
Those are the only belts that I see.
And then, of course, Becky has the women's Intercontinental title.
Yep.
Yep.
I see. Yep. And I really don't care about that belt. It just
crazy.
Like, yeah. Because she's not really doing anything with it. So, but yeah, we don't have to get into that.
Well, now she's
Let's
not
keep
really
going.
because again, we're just holding for AJ Lee. But we'll jump into that.
Yeah.
But
You already know how I feel about that.
and just keeping it up with the ladies. Just keeping up with the ladies here. Stephanie Becerra is talking about her win at Crown Jewel. That Crown Jewel belt, bro. That took up all of her torso, bro. That's a huge belt.
Same thing with Seth at the beginning segment.
Yeah.
Those belts are ugly. They're too big and they're ugly to me. I don't like those belts.
Too big, man.
I don't like those
I
belts.
don't like them either, man. I don't like them either.
I don't like
But,
them.
Stephanie is, she's talking about her accomplishments and things, and we see Roxanne and Raquel step up, which is like, you guys just lost.
Yeah, you just lost. What are you talking about?
You just lost.
You just lost. You didn't
you
lose
have no
last
claim.
week. It's not like you lost last week or the last PLE.
Fresh
you just
loss.
lost.
Fresh.
You have the sweat of loss on you. You coming out here talking to me? Come on, man. That you see, and I see what they're doing, Ron. I see what they're doing. They're trying to push Raquel, especially, right? They're trying to push her
Well,
to be
Roxanne. Yeah,
Roxanne.
they
They're
trying
trying
to
to
push
push
her. Yeah.
Roxanne to be in this feud to possibly get the belt off of Stephanie, but she just lost, so it makes me not feel excited about seeing. You see what I'm saying? Like, why would you book
Yeah.
this way? Have her coming off of a win, approaching this young lady and saying, "Hey, I'm coming for your belt." Have her coming off of a win doing that, not
Give her
off of.
some wins. Give her the wins,
They
them.
should have won.
Wins.
Even if they cheated, they're
Yes.
heels. They should have won. And then she
Yes.
goes to approach her. That's
100%.
that's so obvious. That's 101. Well, who's
Yeah.
writing who
Backwards.
I don't get it. That's just
I don't
creative
either.
101.
Garbage.
If
Because
I just
you're
lost
making
tonight, I'm not approaching nobody. I'm going to the back,
no.
I'm showering up, and I'm leaving. I'm not approaching nobody saying that I'm next in line for. No, I just lost. The winner does that.
Now, do we want to see the match? Yes. But do I believe at this point that Roxanne has a chance in hell to beat Stephanie Vaquer? Absolutely
No,
not, because they have not given me a reason to even think that her title's in jeopardy.
but I'll
Because
even go
all
back to the
Roxanne has
first
been
thing you
doing,
said. Do I want to see the match? No. It makes me not want to see the match. Why would I
well,
want to see a match?
currently, yes. Currently in
Yeah.
this state, no.
And you know I like Roxanne. She's like one of my favorite females right now.
Yeah.
So it's not like anything against her. I just think it's bad booking. It's really bad booking. It was a
Terrible
bad
booking.
timing for her to
Terrible
lose.
booking.
Yeah.
Yep. Terrible booking. Terrible booking. Didn't like the booking at all. All right, let's continue on. Let's get back on the men. I think that was all the women's segments that was going on. So let's jump back into the men. All right, we'll jump into the Jimmy Uso and Bronson Reed match. I mean, it was pretty much a squash match to me. Bronson Reed just came in, targeted those ribs. I hate when they kind of telegraph the injury and you see the tape around the ribs and things. It's like, yeah, I see the tape. I'm going to target those ribs. And that's what Bronson Reed, he targeted the ribs and won.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Just to show, Bronson Reed's dominance and to show Jimmy Uso was hurt. Now, what I did take from that was Jay, because Jay finally came out after, they were beating down Jimmy. Jay came out, and I don't know if you noticed, Jay came out and was a little frustrated with Jimmy. He was like, I told you this was going to happen. Now you're making me not focus on my match, because they already had a backstage segment, and they were basically saying like, Jay was like, I need to focus on my stuff. And Jimmy was like, yo, don't even worry about it. Don't even come out for me. You got other stuff you need to focus on. You act like you're not even trying to help me out. I'll deal with this on my own. So we still on that dissension between these two guys, which I hope this doesn't lead to a match, because we really don't need to see another match between Jimmy and Jey Uso. This doesn't really make any sense to me at this point.
I didn't really care about that as much as Bronson Reed winning clean over Jimmy. That's the thing that stood out to me the most. Like, heel having a clean win. No distractions, no nothing. Just a clean win. I think that was weird.
He just dominated.
Yeah. And I know he has an injury, but still, you still show you have to protect Jimmy in a situation like that. Yeah, I had an injury,
Squashed him up.
but you still needed to cheat, and that gives Bronson heel energy, right? Because I still needed to cheat to beat a guy that's wrapped up. So basically they both win, because he leaves with all the heel heat, and he leaves with protection, because the only reason why I lost is because he cheated and I'm injured.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's how you're supposed to book something like that. But I beat you clean and I'm a heel.
Yeah. That makes Jimmy look trash.
Weak.
Which
Very
honestly,
weak.
they've always made, to be honest, and that's what we talked about this before. Jimmy has looked to me, he looked as the weaker.
He's looking like that right now. I mean, he's been looking like that, but he's definitely looking
that's
like
what I'm
that right
saying.
now. Yeah.
He's been looking like that.
Yeah.
He's been looking like the weaker twin.
Yeah, and he's got more size than his brother. If you see them side
he's
by
the older
side, he
brother.
has more size than him. So
And he's the older brother too.
yeah,
So that's
I mean,
the crazy
by
part.
a few minutes, but I mean, the main thing is
but
that
he's
if
the
you
older
see
one.
them side by side, he's actually bigger than his brother. So he should be booked as, I'm the bigger brother. I'm physically not just older, but I'm physically bigger than him. But
Yep,
Jay
100%.
looks stronger than him. So crazy.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's touch on this. AJ Styles. He had a backstage segment with Adam Pearce. Of course, he won some title opportunities. Dominik walks up and basically brags about like he's the only defending champion, or he's the only champion that defends his title. We'll kind of put the Judgment Day out there. Next week we're gonna have a match, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the Judgment Day. Do you think that AJ and Dragon Lee is gonna beat the Judgment Day and take those titles, or do you even care?
I don't care, but what I do care about is Adam Pearce mentioned to Dom that he saw that he used the hammer to win the match, and he's the GM, and he did nothing about it.
Zero.
You
Nothing.
remember a
You
few
look
weeks
garbage.
ago and a few podcasts ago, I was saying how you have to take your logical hat off in order to watch
Yes.
this. Because if you watch this with too much logic, you're not gonna enjoy it. The GM is
That's right
telling
ahead.
you that, yeah, I saw how you won. You used the hammer, but you didn't reverse the decision. You didn't do it. There's no authority there. You didn't say, oh, you're gonna have to have a rematch because I saw you cheat. Ring the bell again.
Yep.
Nothing. You just said, you admitted to this man, I saw you cheat, and there's no consequence.
Pretty much.
That's
No
so
consequence.
crazy.
Because you know what? They be on that, the referee's decision is final stuff. And I hate that. I hate that. That makes you
Bro.
look that makes you look garbage. You're
Bro,
the
I'm the
general
GM.
manager.
Yes.
You're the GM of the
I'm
show.
watching every match from the back. If the referee didn't see it and I'm admitting that I saw it, that means that I need to go out to the ring and say, hey, nah, start this match over. Nah, this match is not over. This match is not over.
Restart
I
the
saw it.
match.
Referee, you didn't see it, but I saw it. He used the hammer. Take the hammer out of his boot. Redo this thing.
100%, Bridget. 100%.
If
Man.
AJ had said that to him, that's different. But the GM said it to him. The GM said it.
Crazy.
It's so crazy.
Crazy.
And once again, the booking matches the night of.
Wow.
Yeah.
They have no direction. No direction of the show.
Yeah.
But all right. But yeah, we jumped around a bit, but that's pretty much everything that happened on Raw. And this was a decent episode overall. I think they ended really strong with the closing with Seth and
Trash
the Vision
episode.
and their implosion. I thought it was pretty good, man. I thought
the highlight was the turn, the swerve at the end. That was definitely the highlight.
Hey, it's how you leave them, man. It's how you leave them.
That made it watchable. And the opening was good too. I like the Vision coming out. Like I said, they did a good job coming out. Seth did a good job cutting his opening promo. And then the ending was a surprise, which is rare. And I definitely have to give you kudos for actually surprising me. And I like that.
Yes.
That makes me want to watch the show when you actually throw things out that are not predictable. So yeah, shout out to them. I'm only kidding. I thought it was actually pretty decent as well.
That's what I'm saying. It was a pretty decent episode.
Yeah.
And just to touch on it real quickly, I think what really kind of turned the trajectory is when Seth said that he was singing their praises, but then he also said, I didn't need anybody. I didn't need Bron Breakker. I didn't need Bronson Reed. I didn't need Paul Heyman. I didn't need nobody. I think that's really what was the catalyst for Bron to be like, oh, you didn't need nobody? Okay, I got you. I got something for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really just hope that they capitalize on what they have right now. And they really, strap the rocket to these guys. Don't let this just fall with here. As sometimes they like to do with like have these big moments and then they don't capitalize on it. They need to capitalize on it and do something with it.
Well, I have no faith in them because they didn't capitalize on the Vision. No, seriously, they didn't capitalize on the Vision as a group after they won since WrestleMania. They didn't give them a name until like June, and so they didn't really capitalize on the Vision movement at all. So I don't. What expectation do I have with them with moving forward with Bronson Reed and Bron Breakker and Paul Heyman? I don't have. My expectations are low. I hope for the best, but I just don't.
I've been trying to be hopeful.
Yeah.
I've been trying to be hopeful, man.
Come on, them folks be messing stuff up, man. Come on.
No, they sure do.
I'm hopeful too, but they gonna mess this up, man. Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
And guess what? I will be the first one to come on here and say I was wrong, because I'll be happy to be wrong if they get this right. I'll be the first one to say, hey, I was wrong about that. I thought they were gonna mess that up. but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I can't even argue with you. That's the truth, man. They WWE has not given us any goodwill that they can really execute a storyline to completion under the Triple H's regime. Look what they
Yeah.
did with John Cena.
Mhm.
Garbage. Like like it's just been garbage.
Yeah.
But that's a whole nother topic which
Yep.
we keep touching on, but we're gonna get into it later on.
Absolutely.
But all right, guys, that's this episode of Raw. This is Call It in the Ring podcast. Signing off. Look out for more content from us. Until next time.
Call It in the Ring, Two Kingz TV.
You heard?